use dryer if I could every time. I always wish that I have a dryer every time.
People still prefer drying their clothes by hanging than to dry it in a dryer machine like this. So much so that 88% of the Japanese population hang dry their wash clothes either inside or outside. It's so much part of Japanese culture that clothes hanging features are still built into newer homes. Japanese believe that it's gentler on the clothes, reduces wrinkles, limits shrinking, and when hanging outside in the sunlight acts as a disinfectant. Plus, overall, it's cheaper. For me though, I'm personally into the convenience of these drum washers and dryers in Japan that do everything in one continuous cycle. And although my wife, Maiko, grew up in a home where they hung their clothes, she was happy to join me in the dryer life. In fact, she just made some slight adjustments, like she started buying clothes that were slightly bigger to account for the dryer shrink. You just save so much time with these machines. You put in your dirty clothes and they come out hot, clean, and dry. So maybe for this one, even though your Japanese wife has never used one of these dryer machines in their house, if you introduce it to her, then she might be likely to use it because it's just so convenient. On the other hand, my foreign friend who also owns a washer and dryer system like this had to abandon the dry feature as soon as he got married to his Japanese wife, as she definitely preferred to hang all of their clothes. So yeah, each couple has a different threshold for what's acceptable for them.
I just wanna put it in the dryer.
And number 8. Get your bowls right.
I don't like hanging.
Yeah, this one personally caught me off guard, as I really didn't even know it was a thing until my wife pointed it out. And it's less of an I hate you scenario, but why did you do that kind of thing? In Japan, probably in some other countries as well, each bowl has a specific purpose. Rice bowls for rice, miso soup bowls for miso soup, and so on. Apparently putting my salsa in the rice bowl or using the miso soup bowl for my rice is a bit of a no-no in Japan. To be fair though, typical Japanese meals have miso soup and rice. So if you do use these bowls for another purpose, it could mess up the table arrangement. So yeah, this one definitely annoys Maiko. But I make the mistake all the time, so she just lives with it. But depending on who you marry, this could be more or less a forgivable offense. Fun fact, did you know that rice bowls in Japan are not equal? Japanese actually have rice bowls called meioto jawan, husband and wife rice bowls where the man's bowl is bigger. And like my man Biggie once said, if you don't know, now you know. I hope this video helps you understand some of the cultural compromises you may need to be aware of.
Nothing really I agreed with though. I think my mom care. Yeah. When I try to serve like some food, like I don't really care like what kind of like plate. And I try to serve some food and then my mom always say like, why are you using this? Thanks for the follow, welcome. And I'm like, why? Why not? What's the difference? Like, food is the same. And then my mom goes like, no, this meal is not gonna fit this bowl. You should use this one instead. I'm like, okay, fine. I will switch over. But the people like who will eat is like myself. So if I'm okay, it should be okay. Like, but yeah. Yeah, my mom care. That's convenient, not a big deal. I think so too. Hi, Tellys. Yeah, I don't think it matters that much to me. And then I still like hand wash and then like hang and stuff, like care more like those like nicer shirt. But I don't really care about like cheap clothes damage because they're gonna eventually damage anyway. So yeah, I depends on like which clothes I like differently treat them. Convenience is better, true. Like drying clothes, like I wish I had like drying machine at home. But yeah. 안녕하세요. Do you use gloves for washing now? No. No, never. But it's also like I don't think like Japanese does like a washing soap is that strong. Yeah, so I guess like I don't know, I'm careless. Good and then bad, but I'm not really picky as much as those Japanese people. I noticed this on other videos with Japanese kitchens, and they all wash barehanded. Yeah, we don't care. It's better to not to care about these small things. But I guess like those people who care and then some people don't care is like in the same situation, it causes like stress for each other, right? I guess that's why it's hard. When it comes to like getting married and stuff, like you have to agree with some point and you have to accept some points, right? So if those point doesn't match, it's gonna just like boom and stress. It's a big but I actually say to my mom like something my mom cares but I don't care, then I just say like, yeah, because I'm a Canadian, and I try to escape the situation. You would bleed, really? Oh, because it's dry? Only picky persons say they are not picky. Compromise. That's why you talk to each other. Hi. The air here is much more dry. Yeah, especially when I went to Albert. It was super, super dry and cold. It painful. Oh, interesting. Alberto. Yeah. Good video. Alberta. Shh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Okay, next video.
One thing you might dislike about people
Latina perspective on Japan. Oh. Some Chinese Canadian? Oh. Okay.
One thing you might dislike about people in Japan is that there are only two groups in your mind, and putting entire foreigner into the same box, whether it's white, black, Asian, or Hispanic, we often talk like they are all the same, which might be annoying because your experience can be totally different depending on your race, ethnicity, or country you come from. So today, let's talk to this beautiful woman and find out what's like living in Japan from a Latino perspective.
Thank you for coming all the way here.
Fukuoka. So this is my first time.
Yeah, welcome to Fukuoka.
When
Fukuoka.
I moved here maybe about 6 years ago, I think. When I moved to Japan, I initially was living in Tokyo, but Tokyo was a little bit too big for me. Hundreds of thousands of people and all the buzz and all the noise around. Yeah, Tokyo. Tokyo is just huge. I guess it didn't really match my personality. For me, Fukuoka is just the right size. It's still a big city for me. I still feel like it's a big city. But there's lots of nature here. The park, you can get to the ocean in 10 minutes. You can go hike in the mountains in 10 minutes to the opposite direction. Things are quite close. The community is a lot smaller, so people know each other better. Yeah, I really like it here.
More like compact.
Yeah, it's a compact city. Fukuoka is known for being a compact city, so everything is very close.
Actually, quite beautiful.
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah. A lot of people from the military base also come to Fukuoka during the weekends, and there's a huge influx of Korean people and Chinese people because it's so
Busan!
close. For what I've heard and like from speaking to people, most of them love Fukuoka. It's really nice.
So tell me about your background.
My father is from Mexico and my mom's Japanese, and I was born and raised in Mexico. I lived there all my life, I guess, up till university, and then graduated from university there, and then I came to Japan. So all my family, my friends are in Mexico as well. But I was also raised
Says
in a
Oz is
kind of
sleeping?
Japanese environment at home. From my
doesn't
perspective,
say
I would
anything
think that my mom
today.
was really, really strict, because I used to compare what she allowed us or did not allow us to do compared to my friend's mom. For example, she wouldn't let us sit down on the sidewalk, or she wouldn't let us go to the store and then open a bag of chips and eat it while walking back home. My mom wouldn't let us do that, so I would think she was strict. But I'm really, really grateful, because I think she did a great job kind of introducing Japanese culture, kind of mixing and matching, I guess, for us
You
from
don't
when
say
we were really
she's
young.
cute.
So when we got to Japan, many things for us clicked for my sister and me, and made sense, and was a lot easier for us to accept many of those differences. So she made sure to teach us Japanese. I hated it when I was young because I had like an extra class. She hired like a Japanese teacher to teach us properly with a textbook and learn how to write and read. I really, really disliked it because it was forced on me, and I just wanted to go out and play. I just wanted to go and hang out with my friends or take a nap. But yeah, it worked out great because now I live here. I use the language. Yeah, thanks, Mom. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great advantage.
It helps a lot, definitely. Especially looking for job opportunities is very helpful. If people want to come and live in Japan, pretty much a necessity to speak Japanese. It's a requirement.
What do you think?
My main job, I guess, I work as a teacher in a kindergarten, junior high school, and high school. And then I also do a little bit of a reporter kind of job. I also work at a tea store, like a tea bar, part-time. Like everything's part-time. If I had joined a Japanese company and I had a like 9 to 5, Monday to Friday work, I think that would stress me out a lot. But I've managed
Same.
to have just part-time jobs all around. I am very much in charge of my schedule. I get to have a lot of breaks and vacations, and so I've been enjoying that balance between work and my personal life. So I don't
Same.
really get stressed. And once I finish work, I go home and I don't really have work to do at home. So yeah, I'm very blessed in that sense. I don't really carry that workload or that stress over. But I've noticed that around me, people are really hardworking naturally, and they work extra hours, and they're all into work. So maybe I should also work a little bit harder, but my lifestyle matches that kind of work style. So yeah, it's been going good.
What would be the difficulties?
Mhm. Japanese fashion, I think, overall is very elegant. Women are always very well put together. They're in high heels, full makeup. Their hair is always very well groomed. They're very ladylike. But it's almost scandalous here in Japan to wear a tank top, like showing your shoulders and things like that. I don't really get. It's rare to see a woman with no makeup going to the store or to the supermarket in sweats. Yeah, I love sweats, so I still do. And then once at the supermarket, I feel a little bit like, oh, maybe I should have changed it to a pair of jeans, because no one wears sweats. Culturally, Mexico and Japan are very opposite. So yeah, in Japan, I guess you have to kind of modulate your voice tone. When I got here, I realized how quiet it is. There's a lot of people, but it's really quiet. Being in a train, it's filled with people, but it's so quiet. It's dead silent. Whereas in Mexico, everyone will be speaking loudly or laughing, or I think maybe letting loose. It's very Latin. We are loud. We don't really hide our emotions. We're very passionate, I guess you could say. Very lively, and we love singing, dancing, shouting, and all the emotions are always coming through. But you know what? I like that. If you love someone, you fully love them and it's all love and hearts and everything's nice. And then if you're angry at someone, it's like shouting and screaming and everything is very tangible. I guess the feelings are so strong, they're almost tangible. It's always the extreme. There is 0 or 100, and I like that. I think it's a nice thing of Mexican culture. Coming to Japan, I guess I speak so much with my hands. When I'm walking down the street, I go like that, and then someone was walking, I'm like, sorry, like, oops, my bad. Socially, you have to get used to Japanese social cues and the dynamics in Japanese society. It's not as easy as it seems, I guess. There's layers into the like social cues. One thing that I still have issues with, I still struggle with, I guess. In Japan, people won't tell you no. You don't get a no answer. It's always, it's a little difficult, or yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like a very, very, very mild no, but it's not a no. So for me, if I say, can I do this? And someone tells me, oh, that's a little bit difficult. For me, what that means is it's difficult or it's a little bit troublesome to get there, but we could do something. So I take it like that. But in Japan, oh, it's a bit difficult means no. And still now, I kind of press the other person until I get a no. Because if not, I feel like, okay, so there's a way. Just tell me how to. In Mexico, I think the moment you meet someone from the first time, you already kiss. It's like a cheek-to-cheek kind of kiss and you hug. So there's a lot of closeness physically. In Japan, at the beginning, that was quite difficult for me. I wanted to kiss and hug everyone. But I feel Japanese people are more, not guarded, but people keep their distance more. You don't touch each other's arms or you don't like cross
touch
arms.
me.
At the beginning, I felt quite lonely in that sense. I think I started craving that physical touch and that physical connection. But yeah, of course, I don't go around hugging and kissing people. I know most Japanese people wouldn't appreciate that much of a closeness from the get-go, so I don't do it. And I mean, it's fine, I don't need it, but I miss it. In terms of making friends, I think, of course, I'm not gonna be able to connect with everyone, but there's always someone that matches your personality. I have a very close friend. She's Japanese, but she...
Wait, I just remember, like, when I was, like, in a English school in Vancouver, like, there's, like, a lot of Mexican people, too, right? And then there's, like, one guy that I know he kind of likes me, but I didn't want to, like, you know, really be closer to him. Even, like, as a friend, I was just, like, trying to avoid him as much. And, like, I guess it's kind of, like, same as those, like, this girl said, like, there's, like, a Mexico kind of, like, culture, I guess. But also, like, you know, I don't know, right? I don't know as much. And then, like, he was always, like, come like this. Like, come like this. And then I was, like... then, like, I just, like... try to, like, avoid, like, this. Whenever he tried to, like, come, like, try to hug me, I didn't want him to touch me. So I just, like, oh, no. That was funny. I mean... oh no.
She grabs me by the arm or touches my hair or we hug when we say hi. It's a lot closer. I guess the pace in which you become friends is different. It's a little bit slower, but I mean, I've been here for long enough. I think 8 years. It's a long, long time. So yeah, I think once you get through that, you're good. What surprised me the most, Mexico is a well-known country. I don't know if I'm biased because I'm from there, but in Japan, surprisingly, I've said I'm from Mexico and people are like, oh great, so how are your Brazilian friends? And I'm like, yeah, those are two different countries. Or they ask me, where's Mexico? And I'm surprised that people don't really know it. It's a well-known country, but I guess not really. But I mean, in Mexico as well, there's a lot of people that have this misconception, Asia blending into one big unknown country. So China, Japan, Korea, North Korea, South Korea, they don't really know the difference. So I guess it's the same. It's so far away and so foreign. If you say Japan, they're like, ah, yeah, China. Or here, Mexico, yeah, Brazil. It kind of blends in together, I guess. Like all Latin America is like one big country. Many things that happen in Mexico, they're quite tragic, to be honest, but they're so unbelievable and so far removed from reality in Japan. Some people might even believe I'm just lying and making things up because it's so far away from what happens in Japan. Japan is such a safe country. I haven't had not even any scares. It's surprisingly safe. I can't believe there's a place that's this safe. It's so tragic what happens in Mexico and how politics work there and crime and violence, but it's so extreme and so unreal that it gets to a point where you just don't have a choice but to laugh at it. But in Japan, it's difficult to kind of like put the brakes on that kind of dark humor. I guess it's very much so a part of Mexican culture. To make jokes out of a tragedy.
That's kind of taboo in Japan.
It is, isn't it? I think Japanese sense of humor relies more on silliness, making faces, or making a fool out of yourself, which is great. It's fun.
Do you guys know her?
I think Japanese sense of humor relies more on silliness, making.
Naomi-chan. I think she's in LA, and then she's like, what's the plan? I forgot, but like she's doing like one of the model too, the Rihanna's brand or like someone's. I think so. Yeah, she's becoming like famous in America too. She has like the most IG followers in Japan. Yeah.
Faces or making a fool out of yourself.
But I think like she also like didn't feel comfortable being in Japan, so maybe she moved out.
It's great. It's funny. It's still funny. It's a very straightforward kind of comedy for Japanese people to get used to sarcasm or dark humor. It's difficult.
So you will kind of see like foreigners or Japanese?
Maybe as a foreigner, I can get away with, which is not great, but I can get away with mistakes, I guess social mistakes, because people know I wasn't brought up here, or people assume that even if they don't know me. My passport is Japanese, so my nationality now is Japanese. But for example, renting a house, not even buying, just renting a house was quite difficult, even though my passport was Japanese, because the reply I got was, oh, but you weren't brought up here, or oh, but your father is not Japanese. In another country, wouldn't even be asked or wouldn't even be taken account into. Here, it was kind of crossing those red tapes and trying to just find a place. So I guess having a passport is not really important. Yeah, I guess then I'm looked at as a foreigner, but it's kind of expected once you know how Japan works, because Japan is an island country, right? And it's so homogenic, you can tell a Japanese person and a non-Japanese person. It's obvious, I guess. It's not a very mixed culture like it would be in the United States or in Mexico. Japan is very homogenic. They're kind of funny, and I guess the more it happens, the more you get kind of frustrated at it. If you go to a store or something and you speak in Japanese, just because you look foreigner, people will become deaf and just can't listen to you, and they're just very apprehensive at the fact that you're a foreigner and they don't speak English, so they don't really know how to react, or they don't know what to say or what to do. Stuff like that, but nothing aggressive or nothing bad.
Would you say you're kind of enjoying the culture?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I absolutely love it.
So.
I like trying new things very much. Japanese pottery, Japanese flower arrangements. Yeah, new hobbies. I don't really stick to them for that long, but just keeping myself busy, and I guess because of the style of work that I do, I don't really need to behave, I guess. I don't know if that's correct, but I'm allowed to just speak loudly and laugh and just, Yeah, exactly. So especially like at the kindergarten, for example, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of singing and dancing as well. Yeah, I mean, so far I've liked Japan a lot. I think I have a happy life, a very fulfilled life here. Yeah, I hope to stay here for a while, and hopefully my parents, now that like my dad will be retiring, I hope that they can move here, or at least come here 6 months out of 12. I love that. That would be great.
Good video. Yeah, I heard of it that you have to give up the nationality, right? But I actually don't know how it works, because one of my student is like one of my student is Japanese American. Like his dad is Japanese, his mom is American, but then he was born in Japan and lived in Japan for like till he was 6 or 7 years old. But after that, they divorced, and then he moved to America with his dad, even though his dad is Japanese. And then he said he still have like 2 passports, but he's like already age 30 something. And then he was like about to go back to Japan from America, and he was asking me some questions. And then what I heard was like you have to give up 1 citizenship or like 1 passport after 20, but it's not forced. So like I didn't actually know how that works. That even though you were told like until 20 you have to choose like 1 to have, but like there's like a no like forcement between them. So then I didn't know how that works, and then he said he still have Japanese passport also as like Americans too. And then like I guess he contacted to the what is it, like the what's the place that like not organization, like なんだっけ some embassy, yeah, embassy in America. And also I was like looking around the information online, but I wasn't sure. And then he figured out that he can still use his Japanese passport to go to Japan. So even before the border opens, he could still use his Japanese passport and to enter Japan. And it worked, obviously. He could stay in Japan for 1 month without any visa with using his Japanese passport. But he still can use American passport as well. So I actually don't know how it's working. He said like he wouldn't use like, you know, tax free or anything if he's gonna enter as Japanese passport, because it's like it might make it like kind of like twisted. So he doesn't want to get like any problems through like he's going to Japan and stuff. So if he's gonna choose like to use the Japanese passport, then he's gonna use Japanese passport as kind of like a Japanese. But you can't do dual citizenship in Japanese law, but I don't know how actually it's working. Yeah, that's how what Zumi did. She has births and can still use them. Yeah, so that doesn't make sense. Yeah, and then my other like student, he's Korean, and he was born in America, but he went back to Korea afterwards. And then so his citizen is America, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Isn't actively enforced or posed. interesting, but it's weird. Yeah, but I don't know how, like, when he actually needs like place to stay, like to have like a contract with apartment and stuff. I don't know how that works either, because usually we have like a SIM card. Like, what do you guys call? We have like a name like my number card, and it's like a card with your photo, and you have like a number, and then that's like how the government um like keep con like keep tracking like how much money you earn, or like, you know, everything, right? Like work and stuff. Yeah, yeah. So like you need that number like when you work, and when you have a not like a bank account, I think, or even like to contract those apartment. No, you don't need that number to have an apartment, but you need a bank account to have a contract. Then the bank account, you need the number. I don't know. It's complicated, but yeah. So that's those kind of reason, and it's not probably easy. Hi Kuya. There's definitely stories of Korean with dual nationalities getting thrown into military training when they were just based in Korea. Yes, like one of my friends that I met in Vancouver, he also like his parents moved in Korea, and moved in Canada from Korea because they didn't want their kids to be in those like training and stuff, so they immigrated and then gave up Korean so that they don't have to go to the military service or something. Yeah. Yeah. If you enter it with Japanese passport, pretty sure you can renew it. Who's gonna know you have two passport? Confusing. Yeah. I guess I don't know. Good video. Thank you, Hermia. Yeah, I don't know how that works. But also like the other day, my mom was like talking to me about like her kindergarten LT teacher and stuff. Like so like every kindergarten like a preschool in Japan has those like LT teacher, like an English teacher, come over and then teach English, right? In a both elementary school, but even before the elementary school, like a preschool, like kindergarten. So even though my mom doesn't really like speak English, but like it's like you have to kind of like survive to like have a communication. And then so she sometimes like call me like when she was at work, and then like let me talk to them like to translate or something. It happened before, but so those kind of things happened. And then also she was like telling me like some of the countryside places, like I know like a lot of foreigners know Tokyo, and then like they want to go move Tokyo, or like only focuses like living in Tokyo. Same as Japanese, like Japanese population is getting like decreased, but only the place it's like increasing is in Tokyo, because everybody is kind of like try to move out, or like going to Tokyo to live and then stuff. So every other places like population is like dropping down, but in Tokyo it's like keep increasing. So we had kind of like a policy that those like a local places or more countryside places, if you come back until like 30, or like it depends, but like depends on the places, they have like a policy that you get money, or you get like support when you try to buy a house in those countryside places, because they need people to live in there, right? So one of those like policy or program that they have in Gifu, like those countryside places, that they want those foreigners to live and work as those English teacher as well, because everybody else wants just live in Tokyo or like big cities, and if we can't get anybody to live here, we can't get those support to teach English, right? So my mom said there's like those program that they can live for free or something, so you don't pay any like house fee. Like there's like a free apartment for those people to live in, so that living cost is really cheap. I mean, like you probably pay for food and stuff only, so you don't pay for the house, so you can just like work here, but like no need to pay for the house, because the city will like support you to work here, because they want people to come and take advantage of like coming here instead of like just going. So I guess some like those foreigners, if they find those program, and then probably they can just work in countryside, but they still can save some money to travel around in Japan, you know, like, so if you live in like a big city, living cost will be more higher and more convenient. But if you just live in countryside and work while saving money, you can still go on a travel on the weekend and stuff using that saved money, I guess. So we can be Viennese neighbors. I don't know if my town has those, but I guess that's kind of smart. Yeah, to try to invite people to come and then like live for free, and then have work as an English teacher, and like go to kindergarten and then hang out with kids, Japanese kids. Maybe you can get some Japanese word while talking to kids, and then on the weekend you can just travel over like other cities, other places in Japan, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, that's interesting. So like the teacher that my mom was working with, the LT teacher, I think he's American, I forgot, but he's get married with Japanese wife, so then they're gonna have a kids, baby. So the guy, the teacher, got those, what do you guys call, like a break, like a, no holiday, right, like a break, maternity leave. Yeah. So then like they need a new teacher, and then the new teacher is, will he get deported soon? Why? There's a new teacher, my mom said he's from California, but like he was, so I think that guy was using those kind of like program to live in like those countryside for free, and he was in Japan for like 6 years or something, but for some reason he's gonna go back to America. So then like after he work until like March or something, he's gonna go back to America. Then like they need a new teacher or something. Yeah. Paternity leave. He's allowed American. I don't think so. Yeah, it was because like I was like asking my mom, like I don't think like a lot of people wants to come to the countryside because it's not as convenient and there's not much things, and I would be so like surprised if like some people still come to those kind of countryside. And then my mom told me, yeah, but because of like those kind of like programs they have, so that they can take advantage of like living here for free and not paying that much money, and they can still save money or like use that money for traveling. So that's what she said. Yeah. Do they require English degree? I'm quite happy in Tokyo, but I would consider to move in the future. I don't know too much about working at the kindergarten. I've heard like working as like English teacher in a school, you need a degree, but I don't know a kindergarten. They can save more. Yeah. I bet he won't come back because he doesn't want to take care of baby. Hi, Beawies. Yeah. That's interesting. Is this like any degree or a teaching degree? I've heard like for English teacher, like coming to Japan, what I know, like I don't know if it's true, but like what I heard is you just need a like a university degree and you can work. Yeah. So like before, one of my students told me like he can't work at like English teacher because he doesn't have a degree. So I was just sad. Yeah. I remember when my Korean friend went to teach in Korea, all he needed was some sort of bachelor degree. Yeah, same. Yeah, but I guess like when I try to see if I want to work as a Japanese teacher in other countries, I've seen like the requirement. You need like a teaching like certificate, like a Japanese teacher certificate, or you need a like a Japanese degree, like a not the bachelor degree. Like you have to major in Japanese. So I was like, that's unfair. I'm still Japanese and I graduated school, but I can't work as like in a school in, let's say, in America and stuff. Yeah, I have thought about like applying those kind of program because I forgot where, but like I've seen like a program that they let me live in America, and then like I go to school and then teach Japanese, and then but I didn't apply because one is they require those kind of like special certification or degree, and then two is like you are not allowed to go back to Japan between those 2 years. So you have to be in America no matter what, and you can't go take a vacation in between or go back to Japan for 2 years. So I was like, maybe not. A lot of Canadians go teach English in Korea too. My friend has now built a family there. Nice. He only taught primary school kids, so he said all he did was just play with kids using English, no teaching skill required at all. Yeah, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. I want to work at the kindergarten. Just playing with kids, you know? Ah, nani? Yeah. Interesting. Konnichiwa. Annie will have no trouble teaching little kids. What do you mean? What do you mean? Mic test. Will you already run a daycare? True. A little old kids here though. Little old kids here though. I'm gonna get a degree and I make part of my teaching to lead One Piece. So weeb. Good luck. Good luck. I'm 3 years old pretending to 87 years old. I see. That's funny.
43年やってます、ここへ座って。
よし、次 Next video we have Saying goodbye to Tokyo's tiniest shop 秋葉原。みんな大好き秋葉原。みんな大好き秋葉原。あれ、デスクトップ OK。
Under the train tracks near Tokyo's Akihabara station, there is a hidden
I'm gonna
world of
beat you up.
amazing little shops with one that
Hi,
somehow
Mikey.
stands out
Thanks
just
for the
a
follow.
little more than the rest. Over the years, this one tiny shop and its owner's incredible smile have become the subject of countless photos from people around the world. But who is this
Wow.
man? I visited his shop for the
Kawaii.
first time 15 years ago, and he recently sadly told me that he was finally closing things down. So
Aw.
today, I wanted to take this one last chance to share a little bit about him and some of his stories with the world.
島山光一と申します。ここね、ここにこんなのがあるんだけど、映るかな。1951年からここがあって、
わ
ここのお店としては1959年の10月の9日、この日ね会社設立してます。でそれ以前にもお店としてはやってるんですけど、そんな状況です、
I'm good. How are you?
実は私の父親先代がここのお店を始めたんですよ。でただその先代は、早くに亡くなっちゃいまして、今から、僕が25の時だから43年前、脳内出血っていうのでね、急に倒れて、あの世に行ってしまったんで、その後僕が25歳6歳ぐらいからここを継いでやってきました。はい、僕は68です。43年やってます、ここへ座って。
おじいちゃん。
長いですね。
ね、長いですね。
長く感じるんですか？
どうだろう、早かったようにも思うし、まあ何があったかをこう思い出すと結構長かったなっていうふうにもね、その間にもね、私も結婚して、まあ女房はがん患って亡くなっちゃったり、そういうこともいろいろあったからね、そういうのを思い出すと長かったのかなって思うしね。今から何十年も前に部品を買いに来た子供たちがね、もう40年もやってるから、それこそ、ソニーだとかそういう、電子機器のメーカーに勤めて、でその報告に来てくれたり、そういうのはやっぱり嬉しかったですよね。怖い経験っていうのは実は大昔その着火するために電球ガラスを割ってそのヒーターで熱をつけて爆弾を作るとか、そういうことをねやる人がいたみたいで、警察が来てこういうものを売ったことがあるかとか聞かれたことがある。それはね恐ろしいなと思ってね、何でもね 悪用する人はいるから何とも言えないけどね、それはちょっとこんなことに使うんだっていうのは驚いたことがありますね。と前からねそれはすごくお客さんにも、不思議がられてたんだけど、こういうスペースでよく生活ができていけますねって言われてたんですけど、やっぱり学校で教材で使ってくれるとか、どこかの工場で毎月毎月何個何千個買ってくれるとか、そういうのがあった時代なんですよね。でだからこういう細かいものも1個2個売って、それだけじゃやっぱりとても食べてはいけなかったけれど、各そういう会社企業とか学校がまとめて買ってくれたんで、なんとかここまで来たのかなっていうところですね。それを売ってることによって買えたお客さんはすごく喜んでくれるわけですよ。その1個の100円のスイッチがあることによって、例えばなんか自分の持ってるものが直って使える、それすごく喜んでくれるから。どれだろう、やっぱこれが最初だから、これかな。
かわいい。
お店に飾ったのね。そしたらまたみんなそれを写真に撮って、私も撮りたい私も撮りたいっていう人が来て、SNS で見たから写真撮っていいですかとかね、どうぞどうぞっつってると、また秋葉原に行ってきた。自分としては変わらないんだけど、いろんな人がスマホで見てくれたりするのが簡単にできるじゃないですか。だからそういうことでなんかだんだんみんなね分かってくれてるみたいだけど、昔はねそれこそ本当に何かの取材でテレビだとか新聞だとか、そういう時だけね出るとみんな見てくれた人から反響があったけど、今は自分たちで見たい時に見れるから、余計なんかこう世界中に広まっちゃったみたいでね、結構海外からも店を見に来てくれるからね、そういう点ではいいですけどね。ここの流れから言うと、最初は真空管とかそういうのが売れて、時代とともにトランジスターが売れて IC が売れてっていう、こう時代の流れがねあるから、今は何かって言われても、こういう小さい部品はどうしても壊れると必要なもんだから、今でもそういうものは売れますけどね。本当はもう製造中止になっちゃったんだけど、やっぱりラジオのキット、あと残ってるのがある、このねインターホンのキット、こういうものがね昔は学校の教材で使われたわけで、学校でその授業で使うと、作った子どもたちがどこで売ってるのって、他のものを作ってみたいって言って買いに来てくれてることがね多かった。そうすると作り方を教えてあげたり、ね、そういうのは楽しかったよね、ここをね閉店するのは決めたのは3月頃決めましたね。やっぱりねいろんなことが重なって、まずはコロナでここ何年こういう状況だとお客さんが来なくなったっていうこともあるし、僕の体調も悪くなって、ずっと春頃手術予定があったんだけども、このコロナの関係で延期になっちゃったのね、やっぱ体もかなり辛いで、あと実は私の母親もかなり認知症が進んできちゃってて、介護しないといけないんですよ。食事の世話とか生活の世話とか、そうするとここに来てる時間の間は母は一人でいるわけね。そうすると何事か起きるかわからない。ひどい時はね帰ると家の中が煙もももになってるわけ。何やったのかなと思ったら、電子レンジに物を入れて長時間かけっぱなしで、もうかけたの忘れちゃうから、そんな状況も起きてきてる。
My grandma has that
そういうのを
too.
全部こうひっくるめて、で自分も年も取ってきてるし、じゃあいっそのことリタイアしてここも閉めて、自宅も整理して、で田舎に行って母と リタイアしてゆっくり暮らそうかと思いついて決めました。やっぱりすごい複雑ですよね。それまではもう、
リタイア。
倒れるまでここにいようと。で倒れて、おしまいになればって思ってたんですけれど、実際ちゃんと考えるといろんな人がすごく迷惑するわけですよね。もう僕がこれでどっかで死んじゃってもうここができなくなったっていう時にその後どうするの。今いろいろこうね、世間断捨離とか言って自分の死後とかそういうものをどうするのかっていうことをちゃんと考えてる人たちも多いわけですよ。その時にやっぱり自分がある程度動ける時にそれを決めていかないといけないなっていうふうに感じたから、辛い気持ちよりもこれからをやって以後どうやって生きるかっていう先にもう目がいってますよね。今はここ大家さんがいて借りてるんですね。とりあえずそれを大家さんに全部こうきれいにして戻すという、とりあえずそこまでで、その以後どうなるかは大家さんが決めることなんでどうなるかは分からないですよね。引き取ってくれるメーカーさんなんかには話して随分品物を戻してあるんだけど、結局あとは仲間にまだやってるお店があるからそこにみんな渡して、行こうかなと思ってます。本当にもう昔ねこう歩けないぐらい毎日毎日人がいたんですよ。それがだんだん少なくなってきて、今周りを見ると閉まっちゃってるお店も多いわけですよ。ビルもテナント貸しで、誰か借りてくれる人を、ね、探してるようなところとかそういうのをずっと見てきたんで、それも余計あるからちゃんと自分で動ける時にね、さっきも話したけど自分もじゃあちゃんと整理してね閉めてって思ってますね。やっぱりねここの秋葉原のこういうところからお店がなくなる、周りもそうだけどねみんなだんだん辞めてっちゃって、まあそれもいろんな状況があるのね。こう年取ってきてあとやっていけないから閉めるっていうところもあるし、大体がうちもそうだけど後継ぎがいないわけね。でいたとしてもここで生活できるかわからないから、そうするとやっぱりちゃんと区切りをつけるっていう今なんじゃないのかなって思ってますね。今は今度リタイアして、苗場っていうスキー場に引っ越しをするんだけど、僕は学生時代からスキーが大好きで、実はそういう山の中で暮らしたかったんですよ。
Nice.
ようやくそれが実現できると。ただ何より残念なのは僕は脳の手術をしてて、こっち側三半規管とか聴力とかみんななくなっちゃってるからスポーツができない。だからね、何が楽しみかって言ったら向こうは温泉がある、美味しいお米があって当然美味しいお酒があるとそれを楽しみに思ってます。出入りね、みんなねどっかから回って入ると思うんだけど、実はそこの下が出入り口なのそうだから体の大きい人は出入りできないよね腰曲げて出入りするのはやっぱ辛くなるよね。入る。
You guys can't
じゃあ僕は一度外へ出ますから。
はい、ありがとうございます。
You guys are too big.
こんな感じでね出てくようになるから、
I can.
結構体もちっちゃい人はいいけど大きい人は大変です
かわいいおじいちゃん。
あ、はい。
Wow, it is really tight in here. Oh, I did it. Oh, できた. Wow. Okay. This. Look at this. There's literally just enough space for my body in here.
これ一日何回もやるんだからね。
なんか、あ、そうだ、お手洗いとかも。
食事に行ったり帰ってきたり。
はい。こういう感じか。
この上
He
にも
should buy the
みんな
store.
入ってる。
He should continue instead of this おじいちゃん。
いいでしょ、狭いところも。
はい。
狭いところいられない人は
He fits
とて
well.
もじゃないけど。よく入れたな。誰もが
か
入れ
わ
るところじゃないから。
いいおじいちゃん、かわいい。
いやもう入れたのは入れたけど出れるかどうかだよね。Now the trick is going to be how do we get out of here without breaking anything.
うわHi, Surfer Fan.
Oh, we did
Hi,
it.
Lord Dan.
ありがとうございます。
はい
Safe.
大丈夫はい大丈夫ですありがとうございます
No, dog will like sniff around too much, so no dog allowed.
よく入れました。
犬 you can't go.
入るのは
You can't go.
ここ体曲げるのがね。でもちゃんとこうやって曲げて出られたからすごい。普通みんな足からこうやってザーで出てくからそのまま。そうね、なかなかどういうふうに言ったらいいかわからないけど、やっぱその日々日々を大事に生きるようにしないと、
そうだよ。
まあさっきの話の中にもあるけど、父が亡くなるとか、女房が亡くなるとか、ずっと死なないと思ってる。あ、ペットもそうなんだけどね、猫もね。やっぱり亡くなるわけですよ。だから日々、楽しく有意義にね過ごした方がいいかなってね思いますね。
うん。
ありがとうございます。その言葉を大事にします。
おじいちゃん。
こっちにねあるから。
おじいちゃん。
基板にハンダ付けをして、こういう抵抗の読み方とか書いてあって、部品がこう入ってるから、よいしょ。これ電池なんかももう古いからもしかすると新しいの買わないとダメかもしれないけど、こういう基板に部品を乗せてハンダ付けして作るわけ。
じゃあこれを1個ください。
はい、ありがとうございます。逆にいいお土産になる。
What he's gonna make? Who's dog on 88? What's intercom? Hi, Ziploc 様。Good
40
video. I hope this おじいちゃん is being good. ね。やっほー。インターホン。あー、ピンポーンだ。インターホンっていう。インターホン。うん、ピンポーンって。ピンポンとか言う。ありがとう、ジップロック様。なんだっけ、ちょっと待って。I was like reading but I didn't. IRL はいつですか？次は名古屋に多分火曜日に行こうかな。Maybe Tuesday